Hi everyone, today's video is about change. Listen, I know, people don't like change. And the biggest problem is that, unfortunately, we don't like it at the neurological level. Our brain is a beautiful machine and is literally designed to recognize patterns and then do it in the most efficient possible way. How does it work? So I'm not a neurobiologist, but in really a few words, there is a principle that says neurons that fire together, wire together. What does it mean? It means that when the brain receives input from outside, a number of neurons start firing because they actually react to these inputs. The more and more that we see similar inputs, the more the brain thinks, wait a second, I don't really need to find these thousands of neurons if they keep firing at the same time for this input. Let's wire them together so then I can spend much less energy and obtain the same result. So this is a beautiful mechanism, really, and this is why we can have such a incredible computational power in our brain and be so efficient in the energy that we consume to do it. So great, but that causes a problem, and the problem is that we don't like when things start changing, because changing means that we need to start rewiring. We need to change these patterns. We need to adapt that. So if you feel that you are lazy and you don't want to change, don't worry. That's completely natural. That's how we are designed. So there is a problem with that. And the problem is that the world around us, the whole universe, is in constant change. Honestly, it doesn't take me to tell you in these specific circumstances that things change, and things change at a pace that we cannot really determine upfront. So how do we deal with that? Now, there is a popular misconception, or let me say, a slightly misunderstanding on the Darwinian theory of evolution. Because for a long time we've been told that is the survival of the fittest. That means that we have some genes, some specific characteristic, and over time we pass it to the next generations. And if these genes are good and fit for the environment, brilliant. Eventually they will become stronger and stronger, and they will be passed to more and more, and that is how we evolve. Okay, that is correct, but this works only for extremely long period of times and for extremely slow dynamics in terms of environment change. So what if instead the change is abrupt? What if this dynamic is so fast that happens in the same generation, in the same time where we can't adapt through our next generation of people? Well, luckily, we are designed for that as well. So we have mechanisms to adapt to the situation. And this is where the different concept, that is the survival of the fastest to adapt, comes to play. So we as human beings, but even every other species in the planet, has got a number of genes that are used and a number that are dormant, that are there waiting to be reused or used differently. This is how we are, again, designed. So they are just there, and it's simply that in the specific circumstances, in the environment we are, they're not particularly helpful. This is not the right moment to use them. So it's just up to us to change ourselves and use them when things start changing around us. So okay, so till now this is the mechanics of the things. So we are saying we are wired to be lazy. We don't like change, but actually we have different mechanisms to deal with that, even without waiting for the normal process of evolutions through the generations and mutations to do it for us. So we can do something about it. But the biggest question is then, okay, but how? What do I do? And the answer, luckily, is again quite simple, and is just embrace the change. So the biggest problem when we feel that we are not coping well with change, when we feel that we are not adapting to it, is that we are rejecting it. So we feel that we are in a position and the world around is changing. This creates a disconnection and it doesn't work for us. So the only step that we need to take, really the only one, to start the whole process, and it will happen without even us consciously doing anything more than that, is let's make the change ours. Let's embrace it. Let's understand that we will need to change as the environment is changing in front of us. So the key principle is let the change that is happening outside to change yourself as well. If we accept that and if we stop resisting to the change, everything else will be natural. Everything else effectively will be part of the process. So if we accept that is gonna be part of the process of change itself, that we will also change with it, everything will be natural and we will thrive on change. So give it a try and let me know how it goes. Have a good day and see you soon.